All right, ladies and gentlemen, good Wednesday morning. Welcome aboard Solo AI. We're done with Full Throttle. We had a past couple great days. Talked about psychedelics on Monday. Really explosive sector. Every day that's going by in that sector, my phone's blowing up. New stuff. FDA this, Compass that, Definium this, NIH that. We're cruising, and it's bittersweet, but it's also all right. Well, let me lead with gratitude. I'm glad, blah 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 blah. But what took so long? You know how many? What? 5 times 6, 30. There are over 30,000 veterans have committed suicide since I started 5 years ago to try and get this done. So it just demonstrates that when this country wants to do something, it can do it. So I'm a little frustrated, but I'll keep that to myself and us ladies here. Uh, so we talked about that, and then we also obviously yesterday talked about our bullish on America trade. Got a couple notes through support of people who were like, "I'm joining now." After I saw, didn't know much about options, but if I can invest 1,500 bucks or whatever it was, or whatever, if I can make potentially 100 grand in a couple years in my retirement account for a couple, you know, grand today, I'm going to do it. So we had a good time so far. We're done. We're done with Full Throttle. Primary brief, accelerated retirement, that's called Full Throttle. Today, we're going to talk about AI, the AI sector, man. We have so much to cover today. Amazon earnings after the close. I'm going to show you a really Gucci report that our members got. Um, I'm excited. A lot of good stuff going on. But this sector, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, is going to take just about everybody's job and is going to ultimately kill us. So other than that, Mrs. Lincoln. How was the play? Let me a couple administrative things I want to cover first. Great article in Gulf Coast. It was a on their news at 6. They came out to a retreat, a Sacred Warrior Fellowship retreat, and it was great. They did a nice job. There's my beautiful bride Susie. There's a firefighter Bryce. Um, it was nice. It was good. There's Teresa, our priestess, our lead priestess. Um, can't stand the headline, to be honest with you. Psychedelic churches are growing despite legal questions. Benjamin, get my fucking musket. There ain't no legal questions. What part of Congress shall make no law? I'm a political science major from South Jersey. I need things spelled out to me. Okay, you ready, Wiz? Congress shall make no law establishing a religion or preventing the free exercise thereof. Ain't no legal questions. Well, there are churches that do it to try and get around then fucking go after them. We're not. If you know anything about me, this was the most spiritual, religious thing that's ever happened to me in my life. Ever. So stop with the legal questions. If Tom Cruise can believe in Xenu, came in a spaceship and put pods in volcanoes, and if Scientology is a religion and you got no problems with that, stop with the legal questions. I hate it. I dislike it. I don't hate anything. It is infuriating to me. So I didn't have a say in the headline, but you guys get what I'm getting at. I can't stand this. So anyway, this it's a good video. It's a nice, they quote me in here and stuff like that and stuff like that. So pretty cool stuff going on. And then yesterday, episode 152 dropped of the Max Afterburner podcast about my visit to the White House. This is the deep, in-depth podcast. Still on cloud nine after, as I was recording this. So if you want the full debrief, there it is. For some reason, the video cut out halfway through. I reached out to the podcast studio. I don't know if they can fix it. I don't know if the one camera that was recording died. You don't have to look at my ugly mug. The audio continues. They just have the logo up for like 3/4 of the podcast. So not happy about it, but who cares? Like the one podcast, I would have liked for it to actually work. See, now it's just like the logo. So my apologies. But yeah, I went to Mexico and I got the t-shirt. I got my Ibogaine t-shirt on there. So you can either listen to it or watch at least 15 minutes of me before it changes screens. Any other questions on administrative items before we get airborne? I didn't even look this morning. I've been swamped. I think as of last night or whatever, 7-ish full throttle membership. So if you haven't gotten your full throttle membership, here you go. There's still some room. There's the link to join. Oh, and please do me a favor when you're on the No Fallen Heroes YouTube channel, please subscribe. We have a ton of great content on this channel. If you're interested in potentially sitting with the sacrament or this is where I'm going to point you. There are so many debriefs on here from other folks sitting with the sacrament. There's an Army Apache pilot right there, Dario. This one will make you cry. Afghan veteran finds healing decades later. He was an Apache, Army Apache driver. He was on a forward air controller duty. He was out of the cockpit, binoculars in a Jeep type of thing, calling in other helicopters. And, ambush, couple cars leaving the ambush. He tells his helicopter, they were British helicopters. He's like, hey, man, hit those two vehicles. Front one, bad guy. I saw the bad guys get in there. Boom, hit the lead vehicle. And then the Brits go, hey, mate, you sure about the second vehicle? He's like, yeah. Boom. It was a family. It was a family. He carried that for 19 years. He couldn't reconnect with his wife when he got home or his kids because he felt So guilty. On the sacrament, I'll never, yeah, see him tearing up. He's like, Wiz, they were right there. I was at the car and I looked in it and they were perfect and they were happy. And they said, it's okay. We forgive you. Be happy. It's okay. We're okay. Man, that's why we do this work, right? Absolutely incredible. Afghan vet finds healing decades later. Go watch that one. If you doubt what we're doing, if you're the fucking cops or the attorney general or Ron DeSantis, go watch some of this content and then come arrest me. Never have to do another fundraiser in my life. Actually, I do have to do fundraisers because we have no money. But I mean, this is just so good. It is just so many good things on this page, and people debriefing. Oh, this one's great. We'll talk AI in a second. This is more important to me. This is Dr. Mash, Dr. Deborah Mash. She's been working with ibogaine for over 30 years. So the people who are like, we need to research this more, shut up and go listen to this podcast. She has been researching ibogaine for 30 years, and she knows everything about it. I'm on the board, the advisory board of Demorex. She is a gift from God. So if you ever wanted to know a lot about ibogaine, go watch that episode. But please go click right now and subscribe. Um, to that channel. Yeah, exactly, Scott. Exactly. I'm fairly certain. God forbid if they did come after me. I'm ready, man. They're not going to do that. But the previous attorney general said there's a war on Christianity in this country. Well, come after me, and it will be a war on Christianity. All right. Any other questions? Go join Full Throttle. We're gonna do solo AI right now. So one more time, I'm going to say this: the AI sector is going to take everybody's job and kill you. Oh yeah, I'm not laughing. Do you see me laughing? I'm not joking. We're going to talk about all the job losses. We're going to talk about, and do you remember years ago, AI is going to be all the booger eaters, all the billionaires, all the nerds, all the booger eaters. Were like, oh, it's going to be great. And they sold it, didn't they? I called it back then. I'm like, they're lying. This is going to be bad. They sold it as everything's great. It's going to help you work and everything's great. And now the narrative is completely shift to, yeah, sorry. Um, yeah, Jamie Dimon. People will work 3.5 days a week. Okay. Eric Schmidt this time last year, super intelligent AI will happen in our lifetimes. Yeah, the CEO of Anthropic, Dario, in May, 50% of entry-level white-collar jobs will be gone in 1 to 5 years. Whoa, 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 whoa. My son's getting ready to graduate college. Exactly. Microsoft AI, 12 to 18 months until most white-collar jobs are automated. What's automated mean? You're fired. Jack Dorsey, February. Intelligence tools change what it means to run a company. Then he fired 40% of his company, and the stock jumped 24%. Andrew Yang, who ran for president, AI will destroy millions of white-collar jobs in months. They told you on camera, they told you Congress, they told you in Davos. Nobody can say we weren't warned. It's just, Meta, I did these slides months ago. I need to update it with the next round of Meta layoffs. All those limousine liberal Democrats with their nipple rings and their purple hair at Meta who booted my Facebook. I'm done. My third Facebook account I lost like a year ago. I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I'm not making another one. Lost decade of pictures and videos and everything like that. Their AI is like, you posted this, it's gone. What are you talking about? Gone. I don't celebrate anybody losing their job, but the same people who laughed at the Keystone pipeline and, well, what happens to all the oil workers and the rig and the pipe layers? What did they tell? What did they all jokingly say? What did Joe Biden say? Learn to code. There's other jobs out there. Okay, well, how about all you people losing your jobs at Meta? Go learn how to plumb and be a plumber. Jack Dorsey said, yeah, a significantly smaller team using the tools we're building can do it better. Man, this was back in February. The week the dreaded AI jobs wipeout got real. Look at this engineer. This engineer posted this you ready? He asked Claude, Opus 4.6, based on everything you know about me, will AI replace my job in the next 12 months? I've completed my analysis based on current AI growth trajectories. You will be replaced within 6 to 8 months. On a positive note, you'll have significantly more free time to explore your hobbies. Don't sign any long term leases. Let that to sink in, folks. There isn't a job out there that's safe. Well, Wiz, the least exposed are roofers, construction plumbers, nurses, and home health aides. About a month after I did this slide, what happened? Remember, like a year ago, there was like an Opus robot trying to fold like a sheet or a fitted sheet. Well, now the robots are doing it at like the speed of light, folding sheets, home health care, going up to the bed, drawing blood. It's over with. I showed these Chinese dancing robots, which are now carrying guns and going to the front lines in Ukraine. There isn't a job you can name that will not be automated by some sort of robot, period. Learn to invest now or get destroyed. Driving will be gone. Do you remember taxi drivers fighting with like Uber drivers 20 years ago? Now the Uber drivers are going to be gone too. A friend of mine got an Uber in Atlanta. It was driverless. It was a Waymo, whatever. He's like, whoa, took a video of it, gone. That's another job gone. The whole driving industry will change. 18 wheelers, I make 120 grand a year as my own rig driver, gone. They will be driverless, they will be electric, gone. It's all gone, folks. Doctors, haha, don't know, haha, me. Folks, these things, AI is practicing medicine. Don't forget, folks, oh, I hear he's the greatest surgeon in the world. He's down in Miami. It's over with. Anything that dude can do or lady can do, an AI can do even better. My one doctor buddy's like, dude, I didn't sleep for like 3 days during residency. One of my buddies was on coke. He'd show up like drunk and his hands were shaking. I'm like, oh, that's great. Doctors gone, surgeons gone, coders, it's writing its own code. Teachers, you're going to have your own personalized AI tutor that knows everything about you. Not a class like in Boca. I'll never forget this. Thank God it was my daughter's class. One kid was a cat. What are you talking about, Wiz? He was a cat. They had a litter box in the back of the classroom because this kid liked to dress like a fucking cat. He disrupted the class, and that class had to learn around him. Done. You want to be a fucking cat? Here's your AI robot. You can sit in your litter box and poop your pants, kid. Done. So, lawyers, done. I have saved over $100,000 on attorney's fees. Easily. It can review contracts. I'm not talking about all that somebody submitted a case and it's got a phantom case in it. That's because they're stupid and lazy. You have to sue yourself. Once it does something, go, okay, thanks for that. Now sue me. Find all the holes in this. I've done this, and it's like boom, 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 boom. I'm like, oh, okay, now tighten it up. Now reverse sue me. People are stupid. The lawyers that get busted with the phantom case are dumb. They're getting lazy. But attorneys will be gone. Most states you still need to. I passed the bar and I can only file at a courthouse. Well, that's most likely going to be going away too. We will have AI court cases. I can't wait for this. I can't wait for it. Your trial's 2 years from now, and just nope. AI judge, AI this. Everybody submit their documents. I'll read it. Sorted. Here's the decision. Whoa. Count on it. Whatever. I'm telling you, this is awful. But 700 billion. This is 2026, folks. Look at the bottom of the slide. 700 billion is deployed in this year alone. Unbelievable. Oh, here's what I was going to show you. Elder care. Abby, the 4-foot humanoid robot, is going in nursing homes. And then here's this dude, Mark Benioff, the Salesforce CEO, showed these robots sorting packages. Amazon. All the employees at Amazon will be gone. They said this years ago. It leaked out. They're like, they didn't deny it. They're like, how'd that get out? We want to get rid of 500,000 of our employees in the next couple of years. There is no job category that's safe. Hotels, I already showed you that. There's the robots folding the towels. And Nancy Pelosi and the racist Democrats, like they said in 1860 and they said recently. But who's going to pick our crops? Who's going to pick our crops? The 108 armed cotton picking robot, faster than any human. It looks at the cotton and diagnoses it and says that's not good, gets rid of it. I already told you, man. Camus, I remember going to Napa, me and my beautiful bride. This was before they charged for tasting. That's how old I am. In the mid 90s, we drive up to Napa. We decided the only place that charged for a tasting was Opus, right? Uh, why? Because we have specialized people that go and pick the grape. They look at it. If it sucks, they get rid of it. Everything else is like a machine. They grab the stems and the leaves and the crappy grapes. At Opus One, we take the perfect grapes and squeeze it, and it was worth the 25 or $50 tasting. I was a young lieutenant. I'm like, what? Susie and I split a glass. It's over with. AI wine picking things will find the perfect grape. So Opus One should be about $1 going forward. So folks, hopefully I've thoroughly scared you. Rich, Elaine, you guys are asking the correct questions, folks. And it's so funny because who's going to buy all the Amazon things? If you get rid of 500,000 employees, they ain't going to be going home and picking up their cell phone and go, hey, I'm going to buy something on Amazon. You're absolutely right. Who's going to pay taxes? So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a horror. However, if it's going to be a horror, I'm going to make money as the world implodes and we all get killed. Do you understand this? Does everybody understand this? So Amazon, I got to update this slide, is the Death Star in the space. So I'm going to spend a little time kind of previewing Amazon earnings. So let me pull this up. Did every solo AI member get this? I sent this out this morning via an alert. This is the kind of institutional stuff you're going to get here because Amazon reports after the close. Did everybody get this? If not, go look in the member area. Here we go. So, and you're welcome. This is the best. So for all the free folks, do you want a copy of this? Join. I'm done giving free stuff out this week. So after the bell today, here's the numbers. The consensus is 177 to 178, about 14% year-over-year growth. Earnings per share, a little bit of an increase, 2.5%. AWS is going to be huge, absolutely huge, with what we do. 26%. Now the operating margin, they're looking for 35. Folks, I want these numbers to sink in. Look at those numbers. This is why I call this stock the Death Star. If those numbers aren't hitting you, you need to go meditate, man. Look at the math. This is the name that you buy. Okay? Q1 numbers are almost secondary. Q2 guidance. Let me tell all the new folks in the room right now. Earnings is 80-20. Or I'm sorry, it's 20-80. What do I mean by that? Let me pull up a chart of Amazon. 20% of an earnings call is the rear view mirror, is the left side of the chart. Hi, I'm Andy Jassy, CEO of Amazon. Here's how we did. 20% of the care is about how you did. How was Q1, Andy? XYZ. And you'll see this after the market closes, the stock will move around based on how they did. The initial move is based on how they did. 80% of the rest of the call is what? The right side of the chart. Nobody cares too long about how they did in Q1. It's what? Tell me about the white, Andy. That's where you see the movement. Does everybody understand this? Okay? It's exactly right. It's the guidance. So this is my beautiful family. Q2 guidance is going to matter more than the Q1 results. Amazon has already telegraphed 200 billion in capex across AI chips. Do you know that Amazon makes their own chips? That Andy Jassy and Jeff Bezos looked at their financials one quarter and they're like, why are we spending all this money to Nvidia? Why don't we build our own chips that are faster and cheaper? Brilliant. That's what they did. What are they called? Tranium or something like that? Robotics, low Earth orbiting satellites. Investors need something measurable. Capacity details, backlog commentary, or hard evidence that margins can hold despite what? The spend. Here's the three variables that I say are going to move the stock. What's the growth rate? This is binary. I'm awesome. This is binary. One says 38 growth in 26, well above the 26 forecast. Wow. So if AWS prints above 26% tonight, rip. Tariff. Andy Jassy has already said consumers are seeing higher prices. Amazon stocked up ahead of tariffs. I showed you months ago. No, not months ago, like 8 months ago, the article in the Wall Street Journal, like Amazon is weathering the tariff shit show better than anybody. Walmart, Target, all of it. Operating income versus the capex. Remember what happened. Let's look at the left side of the chart real quick. Why? Because if you haven't been following Amazon, look at this earnings. You see the E? Look at this. Holy crap, Wiz. Why did the stock gap up to, at the time, all-time high? Well, they came out and said, we are spending a shit pot of money on AI. The market loved it. Then what happened? The next earnings. We are spending a shitload on AI. The market hated it. Literally, folks, it was the same exact thing. This is why, if you're new to Top Gun Options, let me immediately say, trading around earnings is gambling. It's 100% gambling. Do you know how many times I've been right and the stock does the opposite, right? So or been wrong and it does the opposite. Usually it's a sit on your hands moment. Grab some popcorn and watch, right? I don't like being right and losing money. Does everybody understand that, right? So sit on your hands, baby. You can throw some drinking money trades on and stuff like that as long as you call them that and you don't mind watching that money get lit on fire and burn. I don't like that. Usually don't like that, okay? So that's what happened the last time we talked about the operating income versus capex. The best thing with Amazon, folks, in this AI race is that it funds itself, right? Look at OpenAI or all these other AI names. You're making $20 off me. That doesn't math. Amazon has Amazon Prime, which is Netflix. They have Amazon Air, which is FedEx and UPS. They have Amazon Pharma. They have groceries. They have retail. They have web services, which is Microsoft. They have advertising. Ladies and gentlemen, Amazon. I love talking like this because I'm like, man, I should buy even more Amazon. I should. So sit up straight and listen to me. Here's your average one-day post-earnings move, up or down 7. We're going to go look at the money straddle. The last 4 quarters, right? The average 5-day post-earnings move, and here's tonight's at-the-money straddle before market open when I was looking at the options pricing. We are looking at a plus or minus 6% move, total of 12. We'll go look at a chart in a second. Here's the critical context, folks. Amazon has declined 1 and 5 days post-earnings more than half of the time, right? Over the last 20 quarters, the historical bias skews towards selling the news. We have seen okay, well, let me keep reading. The stock has surged 25% in the last 30 days into this print. The pre-run changes the risk-reward calculus dramatically. Right? Options traders currently are pricing in a 3.4 total of 6 move. That's notably below the 6% historical average. The market may be underestimating the actual volatility. That's why I wrote that. I'm like, yes. All right, here we go. Tonight's expected move. And I give you a scenario matrix. Bull case. Amazon Web Services, strong forward guidance, 285 to 290 target. Base case. They beat. AWS is in line and mixed guidance, volatile, and we kind of hang. Bearish case. AWS is light, guidance is okay, and they talk a little tariffs, will implode, right? So I think the actual move is going to be exceed what the implied vol is implying. It's done it the past two times, folks. So this is a compressed spring. 30% pre-run with elevated capex concerns and the tariff wild cards. Okay. So here's my updated sit up straight. 12-month price target out of Wiz, 295 to 310. 2-year price target, 370 to 400. Okay. And I give you, I'm not going to keep reading. I'm going to go look at trading, but here's my commit criteria. It's right in here. Okay. So you can go, you can look. Bottom line is high conviction name in the AI infrastructure super cycle for a reason, right? Blah, blah, blah. This is a checkpoint on our multi-year thesis. The stock has earned this premium. The risk is, hey man, we've ripped going in here. I think we're going to sell the news. Okay. I might even, you know, take some money off the table going into this and buy it on a pullback, right? Any questions on this? Again, I sent this out as to our solo AI members this morning. If you want this and you're a free person, join in right now. Well, guess what? Or you haven't joined right now, go join. Here it is right here. There's the Q1, Amazon Q1 earnings brief. You just click on it right there and it'll load the PDF. Okay. So done with the free stuff to the free folks. You can join and get a copy of this. Any other questions before I dig into it? Okay. And I will update the super cycle report. Okay. So let's go look at we're going to go look at the money straddle right now in Amazon. A 2% pop right now in Amazon. This trade I put on a month ago is up nearly 100%. I'm closing it. Well, you know what? I'm going to close, folks, one of these. I mean, this is insane. I've made 93%, 9 grand. This was the 210 synthetic stock. This is a month trade, folks. I'm closing this, or I'm going to sell. I'm taking some money off the table. I have 2 synthetics. It is absolutely going to sell the news. That's what I'm doing. No one's gone broke taking a profit, folks. I am going to close one of these and take some money off the table. Does everybody understand that? Look at JG up 519%. Yeah, I'm doing that. I'm filled. No one has gone broke taking a profit, folks. So I am going to. That's insane. I probably should have done this research, but I'm going to tell you anecdotally, I've never seen a stock. I've been doing this for 35 years, 34, however many years. I've never seen a stock run up 25% in the earnings and keep running. Can this be the first time? Yeah, it can. So I'm going to take profits. I'm taking profits in Amazon, folks. That's stupid. This is in my personal account, same thing. I'm closing this in my personal account. And I'm going to get it back. I'm going to buy the dip here. She did, Scott. Ah, look at that. Nancy's in. All right, let's go look at the money straddle on Amazon. So for today, these April 29 options expire at the closing bell. So there shouldn't be. We shouldn't be looking at that one. It's the Friday, right? Well, let's compare. Let's compare the two at the money straddles. Let me write this stuff down. And if you have no idea what I'm doing right now, why are you looking? Well, I don't even know what a straddle is. Well, that's why you need to join and go in options weapons school. All right, just filled on Amazon. Today's at the money straddle. We're at 265. 260. Let's go straddle for today. What is it? April 29. Sell, sell. The at the money. No, it's actually pretty wide. It's the highest they're thinking we see today is 274, and the lowest is 255. That's the at the money. That's pretty wide for today. Now let's go out to Friday. It's the same. Look at that. That's about 20 bucks. So, you ready? Out to Friday, ladies and gentlemen. The options market is pricing in. This is a Elizabeth Warren TP right here. You see this? Everybody see this? The dotted line is the current price of Amazon. You see the Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas TP here? The options market, not Wiz, the options market is saying we think the stock stays in that range. Okay. So let's go look at that. It's 280. Let's just round up 285 to the top and 245 to the bottom. Let's go look at that on a chart. All right, I got filled my personal account. I didn't get filled in this one yet. I am taking some profits in Amazon, man. Now, the fact that I did that means Amazon will beat, it'll rip, and go even higher. But guess what? I don't care. I love making a ton of money on Amazon. How many times I've been in and out of Amazon, and I don't even know. 9 months. All right, so the at the money straddle is 285 to the upside, which we've never seen before, which is up here, and 245 is right there. So 245, folks, is what? The 20-day moving average. We might get a slam to the 20-day moving average. That's where I think we would slam to. Right? Everybody tracking. Now, I just said that doing any sort of trade around earnings is gambling, but you just saw my incredible hedge fund like report. I think we sell this news and we actually do hit this 20-day moving average by Friday. This needs a break, man. This is way overbought up here. Why the silence? Because again, I don't like trading around earnings, but when I see potential trade, let me just go look at a bear call spread out to Friday in case we sell the news. What was the top? 285. Let's look at a 285 bear call spread out to Friday. It's not a bad looking trade, man. For my bear call spreads, I'm looking at a minimum of a 1 to 0.25. I need 1 to 0.25 risk to reward to do it. Don't believe these probability for maximum profits. The implied volatility is so elevated right now going into earnings. It's insane. Look at that. Current implied vol is 41. That's insane. So I'm not forcing a trade, not doing anything like that. Oh, and by the way, what's going on this afternoon at 2? That's potentially, not potentially, will move the market. Ladies and gentlemen, we have what? We have Fed minutes today at, wrong week, April 29th. So, and we have what? Everybody hard stop here. This is a huge day. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's like a 0.0, Mr. Blutarski's GPA from Animal House, that we get a rate, hell, we might get a rate hike. We have they're going to hold rates steady. It's the statement that comes out at 2. The market's going to move around based on the statement. I think, yeah, oh, it is. Ladies and gentlemen, today at 2 will be history. Not that much history, but it will be a historical moment. This will be Jerome Powell's last press conference. Does he shoot at the president on his way out the door? Does he get questions about the billion of dollars in cost override and the Fed? Does he get asked about the Fed governor who committed mortgage fraud that he didn't fire? Uh, what's his rate outlook? Uh, Kevin Warsh is coming in. Tillis from North Carolina, South Carolina, wherever, removed his block against Powell. So Warsh is going to get confirmed. This is a lot going on. There's a lot going on with the Fed today at 2 o'clock. 2:30, you will see fireworks in the press conference. So, I need to brief all that stuff. It's critical. We will see fireworks today. He's out the door, and we might, there's gonna be some fireworks today, or not. I don't know, but I got to brief you on these things. We also have GDP this week, some inflation numbers, personal spending, personal income. Those are big numbers. So today and tomorrow, folks, aside from earnings, which are huge, we have a lot of macro data, and we have a Fed chief talking. The dude moves the markets. What if we get a press release today that says, "Hey, man, there's a bunch of us who are voting or want hikes. I don't think we're going to get a rate cut the rest of this year, man. If anything, I think we might get a rate hike." Obviously, president's not going to like that. So I needed to brief you on that because that's potential threats too, right? So, um, yeah, a bunch of folks are reporting today, and Nvidia, all the other names. Here's the AI model portfolio up 46,000 dollars. Nvidia is ripping up 44% since we put it on. Michael Burry's getting destroyed in his shorts. Broadcom, we put this on. I think this was last week or 2 weeks ago. Whatever, it's up 20%, 1,800 bucks. CCJ, Power Name, Palantir, a little underwater, Constellation Energy. All of these names in the model portfolio, I would add. How about GEV? I didn't get filled on that last week, folks, by the way. After that monster run, I'm like 812 to almost 1,200, folks. I missed a 400-point run on this. So, folks, did you all get your GEV on? I think that was last week, man. I tried to walk it on up, and I never got filled. I forgot about it the next day. This is a buy, strongest buy. Scott, yeah, Warsh was put into lower rates. He can't. Folks, the commanding officer, the Fed chief, doesn't. He can cajole, he can push, he can filibuster. It's a vote. The Federal Reserve chief can't just unilaterally cut rates. I mean, there's Fed governors, right? I'm a voting member. I'm a non-voting member. Well, nobody cares about you, right? So he can't do it on his own. And that's going to be extremely frustrating to the president. So, Bruce, GEV, super expensive. Bruce, why is divorce expensive? It's worth it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not expensive. If you think it's going to keep ripping, it's not expensive. Maybe wait for a pullback to 1,000. Things are expensive because they're worth it. Things are cheap because they're cheap, right? So maybe we'll look for another entry point here, right? But it deserved the rip. I cover this in the AI infrastructure report. Everybody read that? Everybody read that? Okay. Let's stick with Amazon though, because I just wanted to cover some of the other names in our infrastructure portfolio. Everybody got their report. I'm gonna update this on Sunday after we get through this market and update all the earnings in here. But there's a lot going on, man. The Musk Altman trial, OpenAI. This was a big one, man. Yesterday, OpenAI misses revenue and user targets. Whoa, that's not good. That's really not good. Let's go look at some of this real quick. And then maybe an Amazon trade, maybe not. Um, OpenAI misses key revenue and user targets in high stakes sprint towards IPO. A company's CFO and board have questioned the wisdom of massive data center spending in the face of slowing growth. I want that headline to sink in, man. If Amazon, this is by no means a all names are going to move up, man. This is interesting. Listen, this is your CFO. Let's read this. CFO has told other company leaders that she is worried the company might not be able to pay for future computing contracts if revenue doesn't start growing really, really fast. Whoa. Whoa. The spending scrutiny is constraining Altman's once boundless ambitions ahead of potential IPO. I'm telling you, man, I can't stand that dude. He's smarmy. I love Elon Musk. The guy took a nonprofit and made it a for-profit. When he and Elon started this, Elon's like, man, I don't have a yacht. I don't have rich houses. I'm not these guys, right? We started this as a nonprofit for the good of people, and he made it a for-profit. I hope Elon wins, but I guarantee you there's some jurors that can't stand the guy, and he probably. So this is math matters, ladies and gentlemen. Math matters eventually. Is this the earnings where math matters for these names and they pull back? That's a big warning sign. Uh, where is it? The AI frenzy is back and lifting the entire stock market to record highs. Signs of froth are everywhere, with the IPOs of Anthropic and OpenAI expected to be the biggest ever. I'm telling you, man, this ain't necessarily good. The AI splurge is costing big tech its workforce. Layoffs might list some efficiency measures, but guess what? This is, I'm telling you, man, I got a bad feeling about all of this. Uh, but remember, folks, the stock market is not the economy. When Jack Dorsey laid off 40% of his employees, the stock ripped. What's good for the bottom line ain't going to be good necessarily for all these employees, right? So this is not good news at all. Meta to lay off 10% of their employees in May. Another 8,000. This was in addition to the 20% months ago, folks. This is bad. These are you know this is bad. These are people, man. These are 401ks. These are wife, kids, husbands. This is bad. Whew. Where is this? The new layoffs come on top of 1,500 jobs they already cut. The following year, Zuckerberg took a year of efficiency, 10,000 more jobs. Folks, people are, and they've hired freezing. This is bad. This is really, really bad. This is why people are going to need ibogaine. This is why people are going to need psychedelics because people are going to lose their jobs and it's going to be bad. People are going to need some healing because AI is going to destroy jobs and kill everyone. But let me go back to Amazon. Once again, I think it really is a popcorn moment, but this run from 200 to 265 is a little obscene. Uh, if you think Amazon's just going to keep ripping, sit on your hands, don't do anything. But 285 is the at the money straddle up to the top. That would be a monster move. Maybe look at a bear call spread. Uh, Does anybody think Amazon isn't going to let's make a market here? Does anybody think Amazon blows out earnings, blows out AWS, blows out CapEx, and gives good guidance and goes up? I mean, this is a market, folks. Somebody's got to be on the other side of the trade. Does anybody think we rip? No, 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 no. Okay. Um, Sheldon. Wow. All right. Well, we're all thinking alike. Uh, Mike. Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is the breakout, right? What did I say? 245 was the magical number. If we hit 245 with some airspeed, it's the breakout. But that's a little much. From 200 in a month, folks, we've ripped from 200 to 265, right? That is a monster run. And we haven't heard any. I mean, look at this last earnings. We were at 245 and we imploded to 200. So it might be the breakout quarter, but remember, um, you know, just it can sell the news. It can buy the news, but I think we're going to sell the news. All right, so enough talking. Maybe since to take advantage of a high implied volatility and go reread the report about the usual moves that we have and stuff like that. Not a bad idea, man. To maybe everybody else, yes, sit on your hands. But the historical bias, Wiz, you say you can't trade off the left side of the chart. You can't, but it can help you predict the right. The historical bias skews to selling the news, especially after a 25% rip. Okay, so let's go. Maybe a bear call spread out the Friday up at the money straddle, which is at 285. Is there premium in it? 51 cents. It's right there at 1 to 0.25. Let me talk through a bear call spread for all the new folks, right? The all the new folks. Here's a bear call spread. If I think it's not going to rip above the at the money straddle, the Pocahontas teepee, the right side of the straddle, I could sell a call at 285. When you sell a call, that's the roof. You don't think something's going to go through that. Well, what if you're wrong and it keeps ripping? Well, you buy something above that. We buy an upside call to 287 and a half, right? Now, remember, this is a net credit. When you sell something, your house, your car, your boat, your airplane, you make money. It's called a credit. You get paid. So I'm not really super bearish, but I'm bearish. I'm using calls and the strikes are spread apart. This is a bear call spread, right? It's also called a credit spread, like I just said. It's also called a vertical spread. Let me put the chart up in the background because the pricing's ripping around here as I'm talking about it. So, bear call spread, 50 cents. I want you to write down on wherever you keep track of your trades. I use kneeboard cards. Some people use Excel sheets, Word documents. Write down $1, 1.00. And you also write down the words, maybe eject. What do you mean? Well, folks, you want the 50 cents. When you sell something, I want that 50 cents. Well, if Amazon blows out great guidance and Jesus announced he's the new CEO, the stock's going to rip. This credit will increase. You don't want that. If Amazon keeps ripping and this trade goes up in value to $1, that's when I go, should I bail out of this trade? Should I eject to prevent maximum loss? So before I even get into a trade, folks, I know when I'm getting out potentially to limit my losses. $1. Does everybody understand it? I haven't even looked at let me put this in my real account. I haven't even looked at potential profit, and I'm talking about when I maybe get out. Okay? Oh, I already have it up right here. Maybe eject at $1. Write it down. Haven't placed the trade. I know when I'm probably going to get out to minimize my losses. Now, as soon as I click on analyze, the first place and only place you're going to look is max potential loss. Why? This smiley happy guy's up here. Don't ever look at how much you could potentially make ever first. Always look at what you can lose. If you're not cool with potentially losing something, why would you care what the potential gain is? All right. So max potential loss, and again, the options pricing is way off right now. With it's always crazy on earnings. I'm not believing this stuff, right? 198. If you're okay with losing potentially 198 bucks, then you can look at the max potential profit, right? Let me throw some real contracts in here. I usually risk no more than 5 grand on any one trade. In a volatile market or an earnings environment, I throttle that back to half. The max potential loss I ever want to take is about 2,500 bucks, and that's pretty close. So, and it just dropped under my 1 to 0.2. I want a minimum risk to reward of 1 to 0.25. We're right on the edge here. I think Amazon's probably given up a little as I'm talking about it. Let's go look. Yeah, we're pulling back a little. We're going to fade here. So I, I would only do this trade at 50 cents or greater. Okay. So I'm risking 20, let's round it up and say three. Risking 3 grand to potentially make 700 or 800 bucks. In a bear call spread, ladies and gentlemen, you ready for this? You make money 3 out of 4 ways. How do you make money? So this is the price of Amazon right now. This is a bear call spread image. Amazon goes down, you make money. What if we hover? With the earnings were porridge, not too hot, not too cold, and the stock's just hanging. You make money if Amazon hangs. Uh-oh, Wiz, what if it goes up a little bit? It can go up as long as it stays below that point right there, which is called the break even. As long as we stay below 285.51 by Friday, you make money. The 1 way out of 4 that you lose money is what? It goes through that point, the break even, and rips. So 1 way out of 4 in a bear call spread, you lose money. 3 ways out of 4, you make money. Okay. Any questions on that? Now, pigs get slaughtered. I will take profits in a credit spread at 7, 8, 9. What's that mean? If I'm looking at a 70, 80, or 90% profit on the credit I took in, close it. Why? Don't be the moron, like I've done a couple times in my life, who's looking at an 80% profit and said, you know what, I want the extra couple $100. I'm gonna let it ride. And then you forget about it. And breaking news, Jesus Christ just came back and he fired Andy Jassy. He's the CEO of Amazon and the stock is up infinitely. You'll get to do not turn a 70, 80, 90% winning trade into a 100% loser. You'll do it once and you'll go, never again. That sucks. It does suck, so don't do it. I haven't even pressed place this trade, ladies and gentlemen, and I've told you when I'm getting out. Do not ever place a trade without knowing when you're leaving. That's stupid. Ever. That's what's the motto here, Top Gun Options. Discipline, risk management, superior execution. That's how you get superior execution. You stay disciplined. Does everybody understand this? Okay. Let me grab screenshots of this. I'll just do the one to show people because you guys, again, I don't give investment advice. I'm showing you what I might potentially be doing. So I'll take a screenshot of this with one contract and you do whatever you want. You do zero, you do a trillion, you do nothing. I don't care what you do. Or sit on your hands. Wiz, earnings. I already heard you, man. You said this is gambling. I don't like gambling. I hate gambling. Can't stand it. Anytime I've given keynotes in Vegas or even flown out of Nellis, when my squadron was moving from El Toro Marine Corps Air Station down to Miramar, it took like 2, 3 months and we had to do a debt up to Nellis. I hate gambling. Okay. What are the questions here? And again, I can't stand a ton of people, folks. There's so much stuff going on in here. This is why we limit membership here at Top Gun Options. What's wrong with Josh? Josh, no, 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 dude, this is not a debit spread, folks. You're getting paid to do this trade. You sell a lower strike call and you buy a higher strike call. This is a credit spread. Does everybody understand that? Okay, no, you don't have to apologize to me. There we go, Josh. Good. No, 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 not your fault. We're providing mutual support, man. We don't. I don't like. I don't like. Yeah, good, awesome. All right, let's blast that. So this is solo AI. The Hunters is full throttle, primary and accelerator retirement. There's our trades from yesterday that I sent out alerts. Now I'm over in the solo AI portfolio, right? New, or wait, Amazon position updates. Updates. I at everyone in here who's a member in solo AI closed my recent bullish synthetic stock. Oh man, what was the percentage gain? Whatever it was. I forget what the percentage gain was. Damn it. I should have wrote that down. I can go calculate, but you guys were here live, but for the people who aren't live, well, this one's up 95%, 9 grand. I'm trying to get out of that one. I have an closing order in and it's not getting filled. Okay. Closed one leg. There you go. One leg of recent bull synthetic stock at 210 strike for 95% profit. That was a month, under a month, in a month. Also looked at sell the news bear call spread out to Friday. Ba, 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 ba. All right, so I'll insert the images here of the bear call spread. So you're seeing how we work, man. If you're not a solo AI member, you join. I'll give you the link to join solo AI. It's only 197 a month, folks. I mean that the bear call spread out to Friday would pay for 4 months if you hit the max profit net. All right, so that's the alert. Just sent that out. One potato, two potato, boom. There's the alert on my cell phone. No email. I do send out an email afterwards for old people. No text alerts. They're old too. We have an app. So there you go, Dwayne. 180. I love that. Close to at 180. You put on synthetic stock at 185 a year ago, 2 years ago for 172% profit. I love that, man. Woo. So, um, okay. Let me give you that. Here's the link to join Solo AI. It's 197 a month, folks. 1997 a year. Mm-mm-mm. It's our entry level service. It's not as expensive as full throttle. Let me scroll down here. It's 197 a month or 1997 a year. Do the annual. That's where most. It's cheaper, obviously, to do uh, the um, the annual. Let me bring that up. Where is it? There it is. I'll just show you the difference between the two. All right, so 197 a month. You do not get access to Options Weapons School, the 9 training sessions, because you're not paying for it. So this is just the live trade brief and access to that member area and stuff like that. You want to do the annual, folks, because you get those 9 sessions included, man. That's a $497 value. Options Weapons School is 497 bucks. Okay, so go do the annual. Um, what's that? Iron Condor for old people. There you go. Shrek's been here for 12 years. Go full throttle, man, and do your solo AI. But this is kind of our entry level service, right? You also get That investment report, man, those reports, the Amazon one I just sent out this morning, the infrastructure report, you get access to the live trade brief, you get the app alerts on your phone, options weapon school if you do the annual. And you get your manuals, the primary, intermediate, and advanced manuals. Okay. No, Scott, go. It doesn't alternate. The last one it alternated, right? So go read this report, man, because I do take a look at the historical moves in Amazon. The bias is to the downside, but you are right. The last two we had this, but we had reasons, right? Yay, capex, boo, capex. What's today's after the close? It might be yay everything, and it still says the news. It sells the news, right? That's what I think is going to happen. I'm going to re-enter too, by the way, folks. And this is what you do. You close on a profit and you re-enter on a pullback. So I took some money off the table with Amazon, and I'm loving it. And I'll re-enter on a pullback. If we do get a pullback, I think it's going to be down to this 20-day moving average at the money straddle to the downside, which is 245. Okay, let me scroll up and start answering some questions. There's the link to join Solo AI. Separate standalone service, folks. It is not part of Full Throttle. It's every Monday at 10. So we start our week with Solo AI every Monday morning at 10. Tuesday, Wednesday, primary accelerated retirement. Okay, so it was kind of backwards this week for Full Throttle. Okay. Josh, I'm not an Intel guy. Trump trading it or investing in it. It's old and stodgy. I don't trade Intel. The here's the names in the Solo AI model portfolio. I'll scroll down to the bottom. There you go. There's the names in the Solo AI portfolio. There's my lottery ticket, micro reactors, NNE. There is not enough power on the face of this planet for these. So here's some solid names to power the AI sector: CEG and VST, and then there's the nuke CCJ, and then NNE. Let's go look at both these CCJ and NNE. CCJ. Mm, mm, mm. I like this on a pullback up here. We talked about this last month, right? When we put CCJ on recently, it had a nice bounce off the 100. Good look, good entry point for CCJ, CCJ, and NNE. We got to get moving. And this is why I call it a lottery ticket, man. This is the small modular nuclear reactor play. You can read it in the investment report. GEV. What was the other one? VST. Let's go look. VST. That's what it was. VST. VST. Oh, I got to fire the bear call spread. VST. Hanging. 150 is the Mason-Dixon line with VST. I don't think I have that one in the portfolio yet. These power names, man, these are binary trades. They're either going to explode or they're not. So I think it might be time. I mean, look at these names. $25 to 250. This is all recent names. Look at this from 2024, the rip here. These power names, it's a binary trade. It's going to kill all of us eventually, or take our jobs and kill all of us. But until it does that, man, let's make money off of it, right? And I have my conviction over here on the right, my high moderate lotto ticket down there, right? Uh, bu- 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 Everybody has a copy of this. I will send out, like I said, an updated one of these after Amazon earnings today. I forgot to talk about NVIDIA. NVIDIA, NVDA, finally breaking out of its range that we've talked about, this chop. Michael Burry, I predicted the big short. Well, what have you done for me lately? You're getting destroyed in Nvidia. Okay. So finally breaking out of the range here on Nvidia. The thing prints money. It's got customers in years in the future. But again, folks, let me summarize the AI sector here. I'm going to make money on the way up as it inflates, and I'm going to make money as it pops. It's going to pop. Everything pops. .com, the credit default swaps, the 2000, everything that inflates pops. Now, in a pop, solid names will survive. They're going to pull back, but they'll survive. But that's why I trade the Death Star. That does 18 other things, right? So we'll ride it up and we'll ride it down. That's the good thing about being an options trader, right? Everybody understand that. There is trillion% chance that we are in a bubble, an AI bubble. I've already showed you all the headlines with the froth and the AI frenzy's back and all that type of stuff. For the past year and a half, 2 years, I've been looking at this sector. We've had these AI pullbacks, right? The one in February, the jobs wipeout, Salesforce.com, LegalZoom, all those other ones got, I think it was like $500 billion in a matter of days that they got destroyed, right? So, and I should have started with this. I didn't. SOT, strategic operational tactical. I just wanted to focus on Amazon. But folks, this ain't over. Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary yesterday, he's like, economic warfare is working. They are screaming uncle. They're putting oil in old container ships that are rusting, and something's going to happen in the next week, if not sooner. They're going to have to start spiking the wells and doing all sorts of stuff. I've heard rumors that the mullah or whoever is in charge, the IRGC, is threatening, like, you know what? We're just going to start dumping it into the Persian Gulf. Okay, man. Talk about biting off your nose to spite your face. They're fucking nuts, these people. Um, you want my personal opinion? If you don't, you're still going to get it. He's failing right now. He should have Korea, Vietnam, Afghanistan, Iraq, finish the job. Finish the job. If this thing ends with them controlling the strait in international waterway, if they control the strait and they didn't give up their nukes and their uranium, you failed. So I'm not digging where we are right now. Um, the president prefers decisive victories, but none of the available options provides him a swift exit from the conflict. So I'm not. He's telling aides. I don't know if he's negotiating publicly to get ready. We're gonna break him. This is an incredible day of chicken, game of chicken, not day. This is there's a lot going on right now. It's my brother Raising Cane, great American, good dude. So this is chicken right now. Why are you ending with this, Wiz? Because that factors into this monster run. I've told you this hover isn't going to, we don't hover forever, folks. This is a long hover. This is a monster run and a hover. We're either going to rip, this was a hover, or we're going to pull back to the spaghetti down here. Does everybody understand that? The pullback to the spaghetti could be sell the news of the AI earnings and the blockade and or attacks going forward. 1111, God number. Look at that, man. That is absolutely a God thing. I'm like, time to wrap it up with replay will be posted on this page, the replay page. We need to, let me give you this. If you haven't joined Full Throttle, if you haven't joined Solo AI, now is the time to do it. Because we close. I don't do rolling open and stuff like that. You won't hear, if you don't join, you're not going to hear from me for a month or 2 or 3 months or however it is, unless you're, subscribed to our YouTube channel and I throw some free content out there. So it's time to join. So David, they already brought that up and Trump said no. I'd say no too. we'll give our uranium to our friends, the Russians. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. And who is it? The foreign minister, Agachi or whatever his name is, was in Moscow with Putin, and we love you. And Putin said that we love you, and you're fighting for your sovereignty. And what do you need from us? Okay, Dick. All right, Ukraine, what do you need from us? I mean, it's just we're fighting all these proxy things, and war is never the answer, folks. We need. I said this on my podcast. Um, Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. Wiz, great 3 days gratitude. I'm grateful you were here for all of it. Go listen to episode 152, the visit to White House, because I'm not joking when I say this, folks. Um, if I could kidnap Putin, Zelensky, Trump, and whoever's running Iran right now, and we did a retreat, there the wars would be over with. And I know people sit there and go, "That's funny." I'm not laughing. I'm not lying to you. Rick Doblin from MAPS took IDF veterans and Hamas terrorist veterans. Got him on, I don't know how he did it. He got him on a retreat. This group of men a year ago would have cut each other's heads off. Got him on a retreat. They are best friends. I want that to sink in. Go watch the episode on Joe Rogan where Rick Doblin's like, man, I got IDF guys and Hamas dudes. I tried to bring them to psychedelic science in Denver in July. The Trump administration wouldn't give the Hamas dudes, former Hamas dudes, a visa. The world would be a much better place if we absolutely realize that we are all one team, one fight, same molecules. Everything in your body is the same in mine from the moment that God said, let there be light. And the fact that we think we're separate from each other or separate from God is sin. That is the sin. But it's an error to be corrected, right? Not something to be punished. So, all right. Any other questions, concerns? Oh, by the way, smart remarks, you can keep them to yourself. Oh yeah, there you go. Scott, everybody click on what Scott just posted. These donations go to No Fallen Heroes. So if you can, go click on this. It goes to a Google Drive. Is that right, Scott? Is that where the link is? And this is what we need to do? So Scott did this with AI and his time and his everything, folks. For every 1,000 downloads of this song in this video, it's $1,000 to No Fallen Heroes, man. That's pretty cool. I appreciate that. Thank you, Scott. This is so neat. It's a beautiful song and it's so cool. So Scott, thank you for doing this, and everybody click on that right now, and go check it out. It's so cool. It made me cry. So good stuff. Really good stuff. I appreciate that, Scott. It goes to the drive for the video. The song is on 25. Oh, I get it. Awesome. I appreciate that. That's awesome, Scott. Thank you so much for that. Um, Other Scott. Yeah, there's a ton of other names reporting today. I don't trade any of those names, man, anymore. I'm sticking with my Amazon. Yeah, if you click on download for this song, we get a donation. So if you haven't been able to make a donation to date, just go share this. All right. Um, and I'll be at Newsmax at 4 o'clock today. I just got a call out here. Awesome. All right, guys, I got to go. Full throttle, we're done. Solo AI, we're done. We're done. If you didn't join, good luck trading this market solo, and maybe we'll see you next time. Don't trade this market solo. Join our full throttle group. Here's the full throttle right there. Tire kick for $295 a month, but obviously everybody usually ends up in the annual membership at $29.95. Or you could do the hunters. There was a couple people who joined the hunters, just the hunters monthly to check it out. Both things on the flank are trials. right? I still want to kick the tire a little bit, Wiz, 295 a month. I want to kick the tires, but I want to be in that investment club, 497. But this is the 50% discount off of the hunters. Okay, so 29.95. All right, guys, I got to get going. No packages that includes the solo AI, or did I miss? BJ, this is solo AI. Here's the link to join solo AI. It's only 197 a month. 19.9 do the annual. It's obviously cheaper to do the annual. This is solo AI right here. 197 a month, 1997 a year. This is the link to you wanted that with full throttle. If you want both solo AI and full throttle grouped together, it's lifetime. Lifetime is currently 17.5. If you want to shoot me an email to join Lifetime, we already had Brent who joined Lifetime last week. It's 17.5. Okay. Yeah, exactly, PJ. For now, you buy them together, and then maybe down the road you can upgrade into Lifetime. It is the best deal there is, man. Because PJ, people are like, man, I wish I had done Lifetime years ago because I've spent way more than the Lifetime fee. So, but yeah, join and let's make enough money for you to join Lifetime. How about that? Most people pay for Lifetime in a couple of weeks here at Top Gun Options, but just join one of these, PJ or both, and then we'll get you into Lifetime eventually as we start making money together. All right, guys. God bless. Have a great rest of your day. Fights on. Now, somebody asked yesterday, what does Basi mean? Basse. Basi means truth. It's truth. That's what the Bawiti say to each other. Iboga, right? The Iboga folks and all the Iboga retreats, all the priests, they would say, Basi means truth. Somebody says something, yeah, it's I believe, or I'm with you, or it's truth. Basi means truth in the Bawiti of Gabon and Central West Africa. So Basi. All right, guys, God bless and welcome aboard. My phone did buzz a couple times, so welcome aboard to all the new members. We're done with full throttle. We're done with solo AI. Now it's time to get airborne with or without you. All right, guys, God bless. Cheers, and have a great rest of your day. See ya.